Guess what? I just got kissed by a stranger. Yep, kissed by a stranger. Oh no. Well, anyway, welcome to No Strings Attached Street Ministry. I haven't had any videos in the last couple days or weeks or whatever. It's been a while, but I've come down with a flu, and I've really been very sick the last couple weeks. So I haven't been able to do too often much, except lay there in the house and die pretty much. But anyway, you know how you get to feel sometimes, that it just really gets hard on you, to go through a sickness, and, family's all gone to work, and the dog won't even come near you, and, it's just, I sort of get feeling sometimes that just nobody loves me no more, And it was funny this morning. I got a donation right before I got sick, for $20 from one of my videos. I don't know. I guess that's how they found me. I don't even know who they were, but they sent me a small donation and told me to go out and keep blessing the world like I do, which I hope and pray that I do. I mean, I'd really try my best to listen to the word, listen to the Lord's pull. And when He tells me to do something, I try my best to follow through with it. I don't care how much, And I've done it many, many, many times. Give my last dollar, to somebody. And I'd even would sacrifice myself to give to them. And the reason that I do that is because I've been through a lot of pain, a lot of struggles, a lot of sadness in my life, you could say. I've had a lot. I've lost an awful lot, and all with not even nothing my own fault. So I had to process and battle a lot of those inner feelings, to sort of pull your way through that. So I believe in the saying, someone had once told me that it's the people that has experienced hurt love more than the people that's never been hurt at all. The people that's been extremely hungry is the ones that will feed the world and feed the masses to make sure they're not hungry. Well, that's sort of how I am, and I think that's the Lord's training for me, or to allow me to make me more compassionate, you could say, maybe for others. That's one reason why I do what I do. I mean, I've been trapped in all this stuff. I've lived this kind of life my entire life. I've grew up a very tough life, and it's all because of my own doings, I'm sure. So it's not like I could blame anybody. But it was still hard to live through all those experiences. But I always felt the Lord just gave up on me many, many, many years ago, because the world captured my eyes with the bells and whistles of the world. It's not that I ran away from God, but you just sort of get caught up in everyday things, and before you know it, you don't even know Him anymore. You don't even remember what a church is. So I was brought back, after an accident that I had that really took me out physically. And I had to learn and see everything that I've acquired over my life just sort of disappear, over time, until I was able to at least be able to get back to do what I do. But anyway, this one person gave me this donation, and it says, "Keep on blessing the world." That was the only message that was with it. And it's amazing how, well, it hit my bank last night. This morning, I went by the ATM and pulled the $20 out. So I had some running money I wanted to get out of the house. That sickness was just driving me crazy. So I pulled that $20 out, and he left me with $3.12 in my account. So that's how low it is. It's pretty low. But it's amazing how the Lord will still test you to see your loyalty and to make sure that you're still on His side. And It's done it quite a few times, you know, but like I said, I would rather sacrifice myself because I'm used to the sacrifice. I know what to expect. When you see people hurting and going through a loss, a family loss, or whatever it might be, you know, if you've experienced that, you have compassion for them. You understand what they're going through, and you want to try to, if you're in the right mind, you want to try to ease their pain. So this morning I said, well, I really need to get something to eat, so I'll go by and get my biscuit, you know, for the morning. And I usually go up to McDonald's and get a biscuit or a Burger King. And I mean, it cost me for my biscuit, my senior drink, about, I don't know, probably between $1.30 to $1.80, you know, depending on which store I go to. And this morning I didn't even want to go in and sit down. Something told me to go by the drive-thru. I'm like, okay, well, normally I would just rather go in, but so I'm sitting out eating out in the parking lot. But anyway, I was working on that, and I come out and sorry, there was a bunch of people over here walking around. But anyway, I was going through the drive-thru and ordered my food, and you know, I was in line, and they went up to the first window, and you know, the lady told me what my bill was, and Lord says, buy the person's behind you meal, which I've done quite a few times in my life. I just sort of give like agape love, but this one was different. I never saw I don't even know who it was. You know, I didn't even see a car behind me that were parked, or they were pulled more over out of my mirror views, so you really couldn't see who it was. And I said, okay. I asked the lady, I said, well, how much is their meal? I like to pay for their meal as well. And so she took my money and she said, oh, here's the receipt for you. If you want their receipt too. I said, sure, no problem. So I grabbed both my receipts and I pull on up and I drive around and the building, and drive all the way over to the other end of the whole parking lot from where McDonald's is. It was like in a public shopping center. Drove all the way over to the other corner of the parking spot where no one was around. Pull in there, and I started opening up my sandwich and took one bite out of it, and all of a sudden this car pulls up beside me with this man and woman inside. And the girl looked like she'd been crying, man, for a week. I mean, really. I mean, you could tell how her eyes were all puffy and, just in really bad shape. And she runs around the side of the car. Her husband rolls down the other window. And he hollers up, give him a big old kiss for me, too. And I just sort of looked sideways, and there she was right at the door window, She says, I just love you. And she gives me this big old kiss. And I mean, she's like, I don't know, maybe 30, 28, 30 years old, something like that. She was a young girl. Well, she plans one on me, buddy. I mean, it's like, holy cow. I was like, I was blushing. That's how bad it was, And she says, you don't know how much that meant to me today. Says, I needed that more than you could ever imagine. She says, we've been at the hospital and dealing with, with the death in the family, and she says, we're on our way home. We're tired. We didn't have nothing to eat at home. And we just stopped by, and I just said, Lord, help me get through this. Help me get through this. And I'm like, well, I'm pretty cool that I could be there to help you, or put a smile on your face anyway. And I says I do it quite often. Sometimes I'll do it. And it's just my way of giving agape love back to the world, She said, yeah, but this was different. And I'm like, wow. I says, well, yeah, I got your receipt right here. I said, well, see, this is mine. See, my number is 1338. Hers was 1339. So, and her receipt, let's see if you can find it here. I'm trying to do this to where you can read it. There it is. Look at the price on it. $5.55. The Lord always confirms things to me. I see triplets of things all the time. And never could explain it. And so I asked my little pastor friend, I said, do you have any clue what this might mean? I said, I don't know why I see this. He said, that is pretty cool. He says, what do you see it as? I don't know. I said, when I try to think about what it means or try to figure out what it means to me is, I've always saw the three as the Trinity. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. All working in conjunction. That's the way that I've always taken that for years that I've done this. And I mean, every time I look at my clock, it's always 1:11 in the afternoon, or 2:22 in the morning, or it's always happening. I drive down the road and I see triplets walking down the street. How often would you see that, right? Three of the same little dogs walking side by side, It's, or the last three numbers on their license plate is, whatever. And I'm like, this is crazy. Another ones that I see once in a while is like 10:10 or 11:11 or 12:12. I see those quite often too, whereas 4. And but these, usually the 3s is the biggest thing that I see. But anyway, this here, I take it as this is showing me it's a kiss from God. That's how I look at it. And it's just showing that, well, maybe that's on the right track. I'm doing what the Spirit's telling me to do. And that's just it's God's way of saying thanks. Thanks for being there. Thanks for being, His servant. Thanks for going out and doing what He asked on the fly. So, I think the biggest thing to help people in their walk through life's journey is agape love. It doesn't hurt you anything at all, to reach out and to love somebody, to love a stranger, to show compassion to each other. The world needs it so desperately. This world is broken. It's broken so desperately, to where people are soon forgetting the art of loving and understanding each other, especially when they're broken. The first thing we want to do is to look at them and criticize them and say, you're broken because you're an idiot or whatever, And it's just sad how that works and how that happens. But, we need people out there that will take the abuse and love them anyway. And I just wanted to share that story with you this morning. It touched me. I think I needed it more than she did, but it definitely touched me, to be confirmed that, like my thank you, because I've been gone, I've been down, and I've been out for a few weeks, so, I haven't even been able to make any money, so it's been pretty tough the last couple of weeks. Actually, I got to come up with some way to pay my insurance on my van. I got a thing and found out that it's due in 15 days. And I didn't have no jobs lined up, so that's where I was heading this morning. One lady calls me last night and says, hey, I got an air conditioner broken down. Can you go out and look at it for me? I said, sure, be glad to. So, yeah, I've got 1/8 of a tank of gas, and I'm about 20 miles from my house. So I'm just hoping that I can fix this air conditioner, make a little bit of bucks, put it in my bank account, and get back home so I won't run out of gas. So pray for me. I'll climb out. I always do that. This is how my ministry works and my business work. I run on air all the time. I'll drain it right down to the last penny, and I know God will take care of me some way, somehow. He always has, and I trust and believe in that. But anyway, guys, hey, have a great day. Get out and try to love others. I mean, a kind word is a whole lot easier to come out of your mouth than a hateful word. All you got to do is try. And the more you do it, the more accustomed you become to it. So it's a good practice. It's not going to hurt you to spend $5-6, $7 for a meal for some stranger. You never know, because if it ever happens to you one day, it's going to touch you just as strongly as it touched this little girl, and it might have changed their life. I don't know. It might have changed. I know it sure changed their morning. So just think about what you get out and do every day. Even if you don't want to go anyway. God tells you to go somewhere, there's a reason for it. Trust me, there's a reason you're there. Be diligent enough, loving enough, aware of your surroundings, and find out exactly why He brought you there. And you'll figure it out. Trust me. If you truly ask, He will provide. He'll show you His face. So God bless you guys. Have a great day.